Yo, what's going on, peeps? Back with another vid. You already know the vibes. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share. Today we got the preview for the Everton game, which obviously I want us to win all games, but this is Tottenham we're talking about, so it's probably gonna be it's like a dead rubber. It ain't really worth much, cause these men they don't care. Let's be real. I think even if they had their wives say, if you don't win, we will leave you, they'll still get no response out of these men. A majority of them are just not good enough, and it's just getting boring saying the same thing again and again. Mourinho's tactics getting boring. The football is boring to watch over and over, which is why I said even if he wins the League Cup and gets top four, which is not looking likely, with Everton I'm sure they got 2 games in hand on us, so I don't know what to tell you about. For me, it's done, and the football's boring. So if he does get the League Cup, definitely not enough. And even with the top four and the League Cup, nope, out the door. We need someone else because Harry Kane's going to leave regardless. And with the financial fair play rules changing, I think there will be suitors for Harry Kane. And obviously, we know Levy's going to give his price and try and price them out and whatever, like he did before when he was trying to price out Kane before and Bell, but it didn't work with the Bell in the end. Eventually, Real Madrid coughed up. So, for me, I think PSG is the most likely destination for Kane if we don't get top four, which is not looking like, because they're going to be the only people that can afford that kind of money. And they don't pay it all up front. It's not a release clause. You pay a chunk and you pay it in installments. So it's definitely doable for PSG. But I digress. We have Everton, who, as we know, beat us first game of the season 1-0 at home, and again, that performance is what we've been seeing recently. Dead, lackluster. These are treating these games like a pre-season. Not good enough. And it's like, come on, what motivates you lot, man? Seriously, what? What do we have to do as fans, or what does Mourinho have to do to get you lot to play? It seems like you're trying to get this man out the door and down tools him, and Harry Kane's coming out saying that he's sticking with, you know, Mourinho. Of course he's gonna be down with it because next season he's probably not gonna be here, so he don't care what happens next season. But for me, these lot got a lot of thinking to do, man. And from that game from Sunday till the game tomorrow, it should be long enough to look hard at themselves and say, you know what, we gotta do better, man. The fans, they don't want to see this. Maybe we should take it upon ourselves, because we are men. They are men, believe it or not. So you think they would have some pride, but I guess these men are just not prideful, all of them, because at this point I'd rather to see the youth come in, give the youth a game, and let them run their hearts off and show a lot more pride and passion than these so-called senior players, because they're definitely not doing it. And if you mean senior as in senior citizen, like me, you're 65 plus, then yeah, I would say yes, they are definitely senior players, because they're playing like they are elderly and feeble and can't do anything. And it's like all they're missing is a cane, no pun intended, but it's not good enough. It's not been good enough. When I do my season wrap up at the end of the season, I will get more into it. But we got Everton and we played them away in the FA Cup. We know what happened there. We drew and then took it to extra time, and then they grabbed the winner. 5-4, I believe it finished. And even though we lost, that was probably one of the better games we've had this season, if we're being honest. So if we can get any sort of performance like that, we might have a chance. And Everton have not really been great either, let's be real. They've not been the best. So it might be the best time to play them, if we're being honest. But it's also probably the best time to play us. So it works both ways in that sense. But League Cup final the 25th, they're probably gonna say we're focus on that, but you need to focus on the next game, and that ain't the next game. So I don't want to hear that. And all the players coming out saying we got a few games left, we got to fight, and we got to win, and we got to do this. They're all copy and paste the comments. They're boring. Come out and say something else. Be real and say our performance is crap and the fans deserve better. Come out and say something like that. Instead of the, oh, we've got a few games left and we've got to try and win them and hope results go our way. You wouldn't have to rely on that if you was doing what you're supposed to be doing on the pitch, but you're not. So, again, now we have to rely on others to bail us out. And considering the Champions League final a couple of seasons ago, it's not acceptable. We're a totally different team. And I'll take Poch back. It seems like any manager is just an upgrade to what we're dealing with now, because the football I'm seeing is probably some of the worst football I'm seeing in the league, along with Sheffield United. Boring. I see other teams below us playing better football than us, and I'm thinking, how is this possible? Even Fulham at times playing much better football than us, if we're being honest. Because they have a goal, first of all, don't seem scared, and they move the ball quick and do what you're supposed to do, what you want to see our players do. But I don't know, man. I don't know what this team is doing. I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe they're thinking about the Euros and they're done with the league. But for me, unacceptable and ain't good enough. But only a few games left now, and the hurt and headaches will be over for a few more months. But let's get into the 11 anyway. Team news. There's no real problems apart from there's no Ben Davis and no Matt Doherty. That's the only absentees. Everyone else is available. Obviously, changes need to be made in defence, but everyone is available. So in goal, obviously, Hugo Lloris. Right back, Aurier. Centre back, I'm going with Roden, Alderweireld, not Dyer and not Sanchez. Alderweireld, Roden. Them two have probably been the better partnership thus far this season. So for me, gotta be them. And even though Reguilon's been poor, there's no Ben Davis, so he's got to come in. And ahead of them, Højbjerg and Ndombele, no brainer. Ahead of them, I would say Lamela. For me, Lamela goes in. He goes in there. Over the last few weeks, him and Lucas have been the best players. So for me, not Lo Celso. He wasn't good against Man United. He was poor, and I don't know how he lasted that long. So for me, he's getting dropped, and Lamela steps in.